For today we're playing Dragon Age Veilguard and with the RTX 2070, and to start it off we're playing the game at 1080p at the Ultra preset. Here we are with that. There we go. Alright, see you guys in the game. So by default this game gives you the Ultra preset with Dynamic Res and Performance DLSS. It sounds pretty aggressive, but we'll see how it looks and how it performs later on. And to begin with, we're sitting into the high 30s and the low 40s. This game looks pretty gorgeous, guys. Looks fantastic. And for this one, I'll test out 1080p as well as 1440p. I think in 1440p this game is gonna truly shine. But DLSS and Dynamic Res are most likely needed. I've seen some clips of this game, and the dialogue, I guess some of the dialogue, just looks and sounds awful. And the Steam page hasn't really changed much. It was sitting at 78% positive ratings, and now it's sitting at 75%. So it's gone down a bit, but still, it's in the blue. So yeah, around 40 FPS, guys. Haven't felt too many stutters or any at all. And it's been playable on a controller. It is definitely playable. There might be a scene later on that will make the FPS fall down, but in this scene here with heaps of foliage, it is playable for sure. Okay, let's back out, guys, enable DLSS and see if 60 FPS is doable at all. And if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure to give the channel a sub. I do these kind of videos all the time. And time for DLSS at the quality preset, and we are sitting at 44 FPS. The image is definitely softer, and I can see some flaws, but like for the most part it does look pretty good, and I would say it's definitely usable for 1080p. But I think ideally it's best to combo this with Dynamic Res and get 60 FPS that way. Ah, interesting, my save got synced from the ROG and I lost my first save from the first night of playing this game. And 50 FPS in this scene feels fantastic. As good as 60 pretty much on a controller. And also an extra note, I am forced to play on a controller because of Windows. I can't use my mouse on the second screen, it just keeps alt-tabbing me out, so that's why I'm using a controller. But yeah, if you're on a keyboard or mouse, the 40 FPS will feel very sluggish, but 50 will feel pretty good. And in a second I'll pause the game, enable Dynamic Res, and show you guys how it looks and how it performs as well. Get these guys real quick. Let's go. Alright, and time for Dynamic Res, guys. Let's pause the game here. And going down, we have DLSS plus Dynamic Res at 60 FPS for the 70% render scale. It can get 60 for the most part, but in those heavier scenes it does fall down into the low 50s. Like standing right here. And looking back, and there we go. So yeah, it's not a stable 60, but it will feel close enough that you shouldn't really be worried about it too much. If you need 60 FPS, you can lower the settings of the game to high or medium, or use a more aggressive DLSS preset. So yeah, the options are there for you. Try them out, see what looks the best, and go with that instead. For me, this is fine as is, but it might be smart to have some extra headroom on top in case of a heavier situation. Okay, let's pause it here, guys, back out, try the medium settings, and see how we go with that. And time for the medium settings. Let's go down quickly. There we go. And we'll come over here and disable DLSS plus Dynamic Res. And medium settings, guys, no DLSS, no Dynamic Res. And look at that, 60 FPS is ours for now. So if you don't like Dynamic Res or DLSS, you can play at medium and get 60 FPS and more at native 1080p. This game gives you a lot of options, so play with them and try them out and see what you like most. But yeah, this entire time it's been a stable 60. Really, it's getting 70 and more. But still, the extra headroom might come in handy later on. There's going to be more guys coming in a second. Let's go ahead and pull this out. And playing with DLSS, we are sitting into the 70s and going up into the 90s here. A bit overkill at this point, but again, the extra headroom might come in handy later on. 1440p, no DLSS, no Dynamic Res, and at the medium settings. And we are back into the 40s, guys. The game looks fantastic. It is so sharp at this point. It looks gorgeous. During the combat, sitting into the 50s, guys. And this entire time, I have not felt a stutter, any freezes, any of that. It's been pretty smooth for the most part. So yeah, I think it's honestly a great start. And with DLSS, a stable 60 should be doable. And playing with balanced DLSS, we're going all the way up into the 60s and even the 70s. And for the graphics, it is not as good as before, but it's very close. We can go ahead and play at the high settings as well, but at that point you are risking falling below 60 FPS. Alright, so standing here should make the FPS fall down a bit. Let's have a look. There you go, 61 FPS. So even now, it can fall below 60 FPS. We're getting very close to it. So playing at a higher preset will most likely make the FPS fall below 60. Again, you can go ahead and combo this with Dynamic Res and get 60 FPS back that way, but that's really up to you. Try it out, see how it looks, and decide from there. Okay, you know what? Here we are with that as well. Doing a mix of medium and high. There we go. Plus Dynamic Res as well. And as you guys can see, the game looks very good. It is sharp enough. And the environment looks way better. It's way more full, way more detail. It just looks better. And it can fall below 60 FPS, but it's a very small drop into the mid-50s pretty much. So you're standing here. As you guys saw before, it did fall down, but it was only by a few frames. So yeah, there we have it, guys. That is Dragon Age Veilguard on the RTX 2070. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time, next video. See you guys there.